Did you know, for example, 51% of kids think the world will be a better place in 10 years? And they're right. It'll be great, especially if you're a big fan of nuclear fallout and fighting for petrol with a spear made out of a human thigh bone. The average couple argues 312 times a year. It's actually 310 times, but try telling her that. Right, let's get started. John, what are you going to go for? What do you like the look of?
Well, we've only got one choice, really, haven't we? I think we'll pick the person that is sat next to me.
Go on, then.
We asked the studio audience, would you complain if you were served a terrible meal, yes or no? What do you think this audience said?
I never have.
And Seppo said yes.
No, do not do that. Do not help him.
Look,
Of course he put his hand up. God love him, he's happy just to be indoors.
I don't believe... people say that they would complain. I don't think people do complain over here in Great Britain. I think we're far too polite, especially in restaurants.
You're not.
Well, I'm very polite.
Sorry, have you not seen your show?
I'd like to say, on that show, we only ever critique someone's food, not their personality.
It'd be better telly, though, if you went, oh, that's amazing, but you're such a dick.
What's the worst thing you've had on MasterChef? What's the worst?
I think we had a fella who happily roasted a quail beautifully and, for reasons best known to himself, stuck it on top of a chocolate cake.
Sorry, can I just... I'm not even looking, but I presume Sarah's mouth is watering. Sarah's going, finally, I can enjoy chicken.
It's like Nando's and Thornton's.
Wow! Sean, have you ever complained in a restaurant?
I always complain.
But at what point do you complain? Because you can complain and then you worry about what's going to happen to your food when it comes back.
Yeah, you can. I complain, but I never eat what they bring back, unless my complaint is, this hasn't got enough spit in it.
Something's not right. I don't see why. It's a real... That's why service is shit in this country. That's why food is shit in this country. Ooh. It's getting better. Ooh. But generally, if you go to a service station in France or in Italy or Spain,
sure.
I just don't say the level of food that everyone can experience is you can have great food. You go to a service station in this country, the food is virtually... It's like being in a lab or some horrible experiment with sausages and Jif or something. It's just...
I agree with you that food at the basic level, when you really want it, when you're starving, is rubbish. Whose rule is it that we had to put sandwiches in a fridge?
Yes, yeah.
You know, they don't have sandwiches in a fridge in Spain and they're not all dying of warm sandwich disease.
And who, more importantly, who's the person, when they're making the sandwiches, pushes all the cheese to the front? And you look at it, it's like, you know, it's like, imagine if you're trying to fall in love in Iran, you've only got the eyes to go on. There's loads of cheese in there, and then you open the sandwich, and there's just like a little cheese hill going down to nothing.
I once bought a baked potato in a big food hall in Australia, and
You travel for lunch, don't you?
I was in Australia and I bought I can't remember where, and I bought a baked potato in one of those polystyrene things. I opened it up, and as I was eating, there was a piece of shelving bracket. L-shaped shelving bracket, I swear to God, in the baked potato, and I took it back to the bloke and he goes, you know, that's nothing to do with me, mate. And I pointed behind him and there was literally a shelf like that behind him.
So we asked you, student, would you complain if they were served a terrible meal? What do you think, yes or no?
I wouldn't. I would just never go back there again. So I don't think people would.
So you think they wouldn't complain? Sean, what do you think?
Yes. Clue is in the word terrible. If it's a terrible meal,
yes,
you would
I think they would complain,
You
yes.
think they would? OK, I can tell you the answer is yes. 79% of the studio audience would complain if they got a terrible meal. I'll try to raise with them. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your question. Best thing about living alone? John.
What, mate? I'm never alone. Never alone, am I, John? No, you're not, John. You're always with people, John, yeah. John and John are going to have a good chat about you when John gets home. Seriously, learning to deal with spiders. That's it. There's no one else to do it. Generally, I'm a shrieker, but living on my own, I just thought... Because used to, if there was a spider, I would just move to the next room. And then, once you've used all the rooms, you got, right, we've got to learn how to deal with this.
of spiders following you from room to room. Surely you can just keep going round.
No, there's loads of them.
Taunting him.
Oh, so hang on, so one spider stays in the lounge, he's got that covered, and then you go to the bedroom, you're right there for a few months, then you go, hang on, he's gone in the bedroom, we'll send another one in there, but you stay in the lounge.
They're like a SWAT team clearing terrorists. Clear! Where's the next one? Clear!
What do you think the best thing about living on your own, Rhod?
It's the freedom to pleasure yourself to something weird like songs of praise and... And if you live with somebody, then... let's say you died in the act, then if you live with somebody, they'll find you straight away, and that'll be embarrassing forever for your memory. And if you live on your own, then by the time they find you years later, your rotted corpse or whatever, you know, songs of praise will have finished, and they'll just find a pile of innocent dust next to a box of tissues and a single white glove. And you will look like a snooker ref who died of a cold.
Around in my pants a lot, and I live in a block of flats, and opposite me is another block of flats, and the flat opposite mine's been empty the whole time, so I just wander around. I didn't got curtains, I just wander around in my pants. But then a friend of mine came round and she spotted that like some young lads had just moved in, and she said, oh, maybe you should get yourself some curtains. And I said, oh, as far as I'm concerned, if some young lads are looking at me wandering around in my knickers, I'm still the winner, aren't I, really? I just wonder how long it's going to take them to get some curtains up.
It's been a long time since I lived on my own. What I miss, I like about living on my own, is all the songs I used to make up. Get up, put the kettle on and make a cup of tea now. Make myself a cup of tea with sugar. Hot tea for sure. Shall we have a biscuit? Yeah, 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 yeah. Those songs.
What do you think the best thing about living on your own?
Is it the remote? Control of the remote?
Oh, yeah,
that is the right answer. I'll give you that.
Well
That's close
done.
enough.
Yeah.